These phones need to be up. Please put them up here. And then, yes, just to explain, Jaco, Peyper, Tony Brown, Gerhard, Steenekamp. We'll keep Afrikaans for the end. Please raise your hands for questions so we can give as many people a chance as possible to ask. And then, yeah, let's get going. Mike?
Tony, I remember this being your hometown for a season way back. I was just wondering, did playing a season for the Sharks and then the Stormers, did that have any influence on your decision to come back as a coach now?
Yeah, 100%. I love my time here. Both teams, I enjoyed both teams immensely. And yet coming back to Durban does feel a little bit like home, and hopefully catch up with a few people over the week.
Tony, your thoughts on how the game went on Saturday in terms of what you tried to introduce?
Yeah, I think it was obviously a really tough test match. Both teams were going pretty hard at the breakdowns, and there's a lot of messy rugby, but you know, the things that we're trying to do on attack had some really good signs, especially in the first half where we created a lot of momentum in the width, and the boys were able to apply a lot of pressure and score a pretty nice try early on.
Tony, is a lot of what was noticeable was also the loose forwards in the wide channel, keeping the ball alive, a specific focus that you try to bring as a attack coach that you saw potential with?
Obviously, the South African team have got some outstanding loose forwards. You know, it's not a new or different tactic that other teams are using. But other teams do the same, so it's more around getting the best out of the players that we have out there. Peter, Steph and Sia have got amazing skill sets, big players, pretty dynamic with the ball in hand. So it's around giving them the licence and the freedom to do what they do well, and then the rest of the team complementing that.
Tony, you mentioned the breakdown. Peter, Steph said that there's a lot of focus. Maybe what type of adjustments do you expect there to kind of help the boys in the game?
It's just going to be fierce again. You know, Ireland have traditionally been really strong at the breakdown defensively. So from an attacking point of view, we've got to be better. The better the ball we get, the better we can attack. And you know, Ireland obviously want to slow that down. They want to disrupt, which disrupts our attack. So we've got to make sure that our breakdown's quality, our ball carries are quality, and then we can attack with some quality.
Does it be more numbers of the breakdown? How does it work?
No, not necessarily. Just being effective with what we're doing. You know, more numbers doesn't necessarily make it easier.
Jaco, what did you make on some of the teamwork decisions at the weekend, and would you agree that a lot of them went in favour of the Springboks?
Oh, look, when it's pretty simple. When it goes onto a screen, when it's TMO decisions, it's got to be factual based. The most obvious one is the one where the try got turned over for infringement at ruck. I think just that the TMO have the same ability as the coaches in his box. He's got 8 angles at the same time, and he would have seen a few of those type of actions in the lead up, in different rucks. So if you get points scored from that, they're going to have a look at that turnover. And factually, the player's off his feet and he gains possession, turns over possession. So sometimes you don't want to step in touch, but you're still in touch. So sometimes you don't want to make that turnover when you're off your feet, but you still do it, even though you don't mean it. Factually, off his feet, turnover made. So try can't be scored. Then it becomes a debate whether it should be a penalty to Ireland because there was a touch to the neck. So that is debatable. Maybe the officials try to stay consistent because a few minutes earlier there was exactly the same scenario on Kwagga Smith, which was played through again. So maybe that's even-handed. But that's all in the game of rugby. You can't referee everything, but you can't leave stuff that's high impact.
Just on that, Jaco, like, do you think it's, I hope this doesn't sound like sour grapes, do you think it's problematic to get into that with a breakdown where there's so much going on and there's so many breakdowns in a game?
Yeah, I think if it's a technical infringement, if it's a player making decision to go off his feet, I think they this under the of a cynical infringement rather than a technical infringement. By going off his feet, that would be my understanding of it. But if you look at that, I think about 10 seconds earlier, there was a clear knock on by Casey behind the ruck. So I think we shouldn't have got there.
Okay, and Tony, can I just ask you on the attack, like was there stuff you saw in Ireland's defence, or was it more about you guys, the success that you had?
Always plan the attack around the teams that we're playing. So we've put a lot of time and effort into analysing Ireland around how they defend, how they attack the breakdown. So we saw a few opportunities, and yeah, ultimately we always look to plan around the team we're playing.
Arthur?
I know World Rugby is trying to speed up the game. If you look at what happened in the weekend, the game almost overran, almost 20 minutes because of those decisions. But is there concern from your side that trying to get accuracy in decisions could hamper speed up the game?
I think at least half of that time was taken up by Irish hooker that was down for 3.5 minutes. When unfortunately Casey was being treated and taken off the field. So half of that time wasn't actually the officials, it was actually player safety and looking after that. We always look to speed up the game, but you can't do that at the cost of accuracy. So the TMO is damned if you do. If the TMO probably didn't refer some of those, then he would have been damned by someone else. So they've got to do a job and deal with the facts as best as they can with good feeling if it's available. So I don't think the officials had any particular impact on the flow. It was more injuries that had that 20 minutes extra.
Jaco, what do you make of the James Law's touch? And also took another time there, just to clarify for us. Was it the right call made by the TMO?
Well, how do I follow this? It's fine margins, so they have to be very clear. I mean, it's a big test match, so rather have one replay too many than two too little. But how does it work? On-field decisions try. That means it stands until there's evidence that proves otherwise. So if it's suspicious, play through, try stands. If it's maybe, try stands, play through. They couldn't prove with facts that the ball, he's touched the ground, so you have to stay with the on-field decision. Again, if we were on the other side, we would have felt agreed, but we would have they had a clear process and we could follow.
And also with the James Law try also being chalked off another sign of example that also things went in your favour.
I wouldn't say in favour. I think it's factually based. If you look at that incident 2 years ago on the Aviva, Ireland scored a try where the exact same action where a hooker kicked out the ball out of the breakdown, and Ireland got the benefit of the doubt that day. This time it went the other way. So I think it's on the day fact proven, and I could follow the process.
Tony, partnership that over a number of years has now flourished for the Springboks is the midfield, going midfield. How have you experienced them, and how much potential do you still see?
Yeah, obviously both world-class players, and I did hear the stat that they're the most experienced midfield combination, so that's pretty amazing for them. I always want to push the players a lot around what they can achieve on attack. And I know Jesse works so hard off the field and he wants to get better in every part of the game, and so he's working so hard to make his attack better, and I think we saw a lot of examples of him being a dominant attacking force, whether he's carrying the ball or moving the ball with his passing game. And Damien's just such a physical guy in the contact. He can offload, he can get a lot of momentum, but one thing you don't know about Damien Delande is that he's the best passer in the Springboks, so I want to unlock all that skill and ability and push them to become even better than they are.
Jesse seemed to get them more traction. She's made a big difference though.
Yeah, but Jesse's super fit, and if you, in a game of rugby, if you position quickly and you see the space and opportunity, you're going to get the ball in your hands, and that's what I'm challenging all of our guys to be able to do.
A lot obviously has been made about 7 months split, 6-2 and so on, and how the Springboks bring on almost the whole bench and probably the danger of it. What do the laws say about that?
Yeah, I think the law's very clear you can do it. I don't think that makes it dangerous. I think it makes it dangerous when players don't level change, drop their height into contact. I think it makes it dangerous when players take risk in the air and don't respect the other players up in the air. I don't think the bomb squad or the 6-2 split makes it dangerous. Ireland played with the 6-2 split 3 times in 6 Nations, so nobody talked about it then. So I think it's probably focused because it was effective. But at this point, safety of the game is determined by people who follow the shape of the game. The laws are made specifically to protect the heads, protect players in the air. At scrum time, if you go pre-engage, it puts a lot of stress on the next axial loading. So I think those are the things that make rugby dangerous, not a fresh pair of legs. And I've actually seen a piece written by Dr. Ross Tucker that says the risk of injury goes down when fresher players enter the pitch. So I don't think there's facts to prove that.
Tony, I always seem to ask you about the backs and how they respond to the attack, but for that first passage of play, I saw the forwards handling quite nicely. And I think France Moheba carried by 3 times in that passage of play. How they respond to the pressure, and how did you rate their performance in that area?
Yeah, we're always developing, and our attack only works if the forwards are good as well. So they need to be able to get gain line for us. They need to be able to carry the ball. They need to be able to pass. They need to be able to clean out. On attack, they've got so many demands. Or in a game of rugby, they've got so many demands on them around being able to scrum, maul, line out, defend, clean out. So any good attack can't operate without the forwards really dominating their area, and it's been nice to keep challenging them and push them to be able to move the ball. So hopefully we're just going to continue to get better as we go through the year.
Tony, how pleasing it is to have players that go the extra mile for the team, especially players in your backline like Chase and Colby. Good example was that when he chased Andre Pollard's kick and pounced the level score from James Flow. How pleasing it is to have that type of players?
Yeah, well, I think if you look at James Lowe, I've seen James Lowe do so many amazing things on the rugby field around keeping the ball in play, and he actually created a try by keeping it in play on the other side. I've seen him do it 1,000 times, and I've seen Cheslin chase and commit to the chase and win games of rugby through his chase. So for me, it was 2 brilliant bits of rugby that Cheslin ultimately won out because maybe the Irish players didn't back up James Lowe. So both Cheslin and Curtly have got an amazing ability to beat players and to outwork players. And you're just seeing them impact the game so much and win games of rugby through their effort. And it's always exciting to coach players that want to do that.
Tony, just your transition from coaching in Japan to coaching a team like the Springboks. I remember when you were the Sharks 5.5 years ago, one of your most memorable quotes was something about last year you were playing behind the big pack of angry Afrikaners rather than playing against them. Do you sort of feel the same way now? I mean, now you've got a real sort of pack that you can sort of work off.
Yeah, well, it's definitely 2 different teams. The Japanese team versus the Springbok team. I don't think I've seen such a dominant scrum ever in the game of rugby than penalty try. And I know that with Japan, it was just ball in, ball out as quick as you could to try and play and then try and get around teams. It's definitely very nice to coach the South African team where the set piece is quality. They're big men, they dominate the gain line, so you're getting momentum and speed, and you can do a lot of good things on the rugby field if you've got speed and momentum.
Yeah, just on that, how satisfying was it coming on and getting the Irish back in the reverse?
Definitely, it was very satisfying. I think we worked hard at the scrums, so it's nice to see it paying off.
And how much does it do for the confidence, especially with you coming to the side?
No, definitely, it's a very, very big confidence booster, and we'll just make sure to keep on working to not drop the baton this coming weekend.
what type of data that we want to see in the Springboks to improve the game inside it? And also playing the sea level, will that have any impact in terms of the kicking game?
Sorry, what was the first one?
No, I'm saying what type of data that you want Springboks to
Area.
improve ahead of the game inside it? And also, we are in the sea level, so in terms of the kicking, what way we to do it?
I think the kicking game is a massive part of rugby now. Both teams are very good kicking teams. They're very good at pressuring in the air. They're very good at pressuring on the ground. So being able to be good at the kicking game is crucial for us. Potentially we didn't quite execute as well as we should have in that first half. There's a couple of opportunities we could have finished a bit better, and then we put ourselves under a bit of pressure in the second half and allowed Ireland back into the game there. So just the execution's got to go up. We've got to keep doing the same things that we're doing well, and if we can just limit our mistakes, we're going to have a good day.
Tony, just on the kicking, Nick Pollard, you know how good a goal kicker he is. Saturday at the Oakland, obviously, and you as a crowd know that sometimes that happens. How do I rectify that?
I think Andre, he played, his last game was 2 months ago. So I know in a game of rugby, when you're tired and a little bit of fatigue sets in, then the quality of your goal kicking definitely goes down. I'm not concerned about Andre's goal kicking. He'll be with another game under his belt. His ability to sort of be conditioned to go again, he'll be fine kicking goals. He's kicked well all week, but that's when you're fresh, when you're tired and at Loftus and you get into that second half. I just think it was fatigue, nothing to do with his goal kicking.
Father, then John.
Tony, the Irish team is quite relevant with injuries. You feel as if that's an opportunity for you guys to sort of
I haven't heard about any injuries. I know that a test match is a test match. Every test match is hard. Every test match starts with 15 on 15. So we're just going to prepare as well as we can to get ready for whoever they throw out there.
Just your take on the scrums. Tony mentioned it's very dominant in the second half, but first half quite technical. What exactly was going on there? How did the box adjust?
Yeah, obviously Don asked for some clarification through the right channel, so the team will understand better by this evening how to adjust to that and get better results, because it was a bit of a slow build up in the game in terms of getting scrums going. Yes, Ireland's a very smart team and they know how to handle a big hit, and they know how to handle the Springbok pack at times, so the lads will have to be patient and just find that one opportunity, maybe hopefully in the game.
Jaco, one of the other law tweaks was the croc roll being outlawed. Did you notice any difference? Did it make it messier?
I think it's something that's not really prevalent at this level of the game, because the players respect that, how serious that can injure someone. It can take someone out of the game for 12 months. So I don't think players ever at this level plan to do it, because out of respect for the opposition. But when it does happen, it's normally when someone's really late and he's desperate and he's trying to get there, the weight goes on the limbs. But no, in this game it wasn't an issue.
How difficult to deal with the coaches after the game and then they give their assessment? How difficult to do as a former referee? But maybe they can feel cheated somehow.
Yeah, obviously I have to bring that balance, so we're trying to pay as much respect we can to the officials, but now I'm taking the heat in the coach's box, so I'm the only referee there. So we can filter it now. But I think you've got to give yourself time and space, and then twice Sunday when we look through it and chat to the boys, and the referees don't plan to go out there and make mistakes. They don't plan anything. The game's fast and dynamic, and there's a lot of moving pieces, parts in that game. So will there be feedback? Yeah, we got a line, like I said last week. We have a few questions to ask. Should we align or should the referee align? And that's a natural process. The referees go through a thorough process. I've been there for years, and a Monday is a big day for referees, where they go through, not from the outside, in the inside. There's a lot of honesty, and they look at everything and they make sure that the next time they can align to a best practice performance. And so we'll get our feedback and we'll adjust some places, and they'll adjust some places, and hopefully this weekend is even smoother.
Any further English questions? No? Okay, Afrikaans. Steven?
Gerhard, is van Radio Nieuws by die SAK. Kan jy Afrikaans vir ons saamvat wat jy voor gesê het oor laasnaweek se game en wat jy dink oor die naweek?
Nee, verseker soos Jaco sê, daar's baie tegniese goed wat ons gaan uitsorteer in die scrums en sodra ons dit reg het, hoop ons om dieselfde vertoning op te sit as laas naweek. Dink soos ek gesê het, ons het hard gewerk in die scrums en net seker maak ons bly by ons sisteme.
Jy reken dit gaan harder wees die Saterdag?
En verseker, ek dink daar's nie 'n sagte toets nie. So dit gaan 'n goeie game wees.
Steven?
Gerhard, toe jy opkom 6 van julle dieselfde tyd en gaan absoluut al jy reg gevoel het, jy weet, deel te wees van die bomsquad en so van geen amper hoe dit gevoel, wat was die emosie doen?
Ja, ek dink mens kan dit nie in woorde sit nie. Ek dink enige klein seentjie se droom om die Springbok trou oor sy kop te trek en vir my om daai droom te laat waar word op beloftes waar vir die Blou Bulle speel. Ja, ek kan nie beskryf nie, dit is 'n droom wat waar geword het.
Nou nie die momente wat jy uitgekry het in die wedstryd. Jy kan amper sê, as mens kyk die scrum is tekenend daarvan waar jy daar straf gekry het. Jy voel seker goed oor die momentum van Jaco.
Ja, ek dink dit was ons 'n goeie impak gemaak. Ek dink is die manne wat begin het hulle werk ook gedoen om die manne moeg te maak en dan is dit vir ons maklik om klaar te maak.
Hoe belangrijk is dit om hierdie wedstryd te wen? As ek was goed verstaan, looking forward also to the championship.
Ek dink dit is baie belangrik. Ek dink kan ek sê ons sal nooit 'n wedstryd wil verloor nie. So ek dink dit is belangrik en om goeie momentum te bou soos ons in die championship omgaan.
Is that it, guys? Everyone happy? Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Pipes in Gerhard nu naby gesit.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Tony out.